All right, so get this. We're diving deep into Minexoinvst today.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're making waves in crypto and fintech, and,
Right.
we've got their company profile presentation, and
Sure.
it really gives us a good look at their goals and how they got here and the team behind it all.
Interesting.
I'm seeing some exciting things here. Rapid growth, a really ambitious vision,
Yeah.
and a big focus on AI and blockchain.
Cool.
So are you ready to kind of unpack Minexoinvst and see if they're the real deal?
Absolutely. This is a really fascinating space, and they seem to be right at the forefront. So let's break it down.
Okay, so they start with their mission statement, right? To be the top crypto investment platform, like revolutionizing how we invest in this whole Web3 thing.
Yeah, Web3 is huge.
Yeah, and I know you know all about it, but for anyone listening,
Right.
think of it as the next generation of the internet built on blockchain tech.
Exactly. And Minexoinvst is really well positioned to capitalize on that shift towards decentralization and user empowerment.
It's interesting, they're not just about the technology though, right? They're emphasizing these four core values: integrity, excellence, collaboration, and innovation.
Yeah.
And what really struck me was how they define excellence. It's not just about profits, it's transparency, a solid reputation,
Hmm.
robust security, regulatory compliance, top-notch customer service.
They're going all in.
Yeah, it seems like they're building trust from the get-go.
That's smart. In a field like crypto, trust is everything, so that could give them a real edge.
Right, and their vision statement, it's super ambitious.
Oh, yeah.
They want to shape the future of finance by opening up opportunities in this whole Web3 ecosystem.
Wow.
Helping people seamlessly integrate into the digital economy.
That's a big goal.
It's bold, but their timeline shows they're not messing around.
Okay, let's hear it.
So they were established back in 2015, launched their platform in 2021, and then boom,
Yeah.
integrated advanced AI and blockchain by 2023.
Wow, that's fast.
And get this, by 2030, they're aiming for international expansion and to be recognized as a leading innovator.
That's a rapid trajectory, especially for fintech.
Right. It makes you
Yeah.
wonder what's driving that growth. Is it just the demand for crypto solutions?
Well, that's a big part of it, but
Or is there something more to their strategy?
I think they're really good at adapting to new technologies and integrating them quickly.
Interesting.
That's key in such a dynamic environment.
Totally. Now, who are they targeting with all of this?
Good question.
Well, the presentation outlines three main groups: individual investors, financial professionals, and technology enthusiasts.
So a pretty broad range.
Yeah, essentially anyone looking for advanced but easy-to-use financial solutions.
Makes sense.
Right. And their market analysis from 2021 to 2024.
Yeah.
It highlights some key trends: massive increase in digital adoption, more focus on regulation,
Right.
and the consolidation of the fintech market.
It's getting more competitive for sure.
So Minexoinvst has to innovate, but also navigate this complex landscape and meet those evolving user expectations for secure and personalized solutions. That's a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But they seem organized. They've laid out three main goals: enhancing innovation, expanding market reach, and ensuring regulatory compliance.
And they're linking these goals to their vision with this sophisticated fintech platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're using AI and blockchain to create secure, personalized, and efficient solutions.
Sounds ambitious.
It is. It'll be interesting to see how they actually use those technologies to achieve their goals.
Yeah, will they live up to the hype?
Exactly. And speaking of achieving goals, a company is only as good as its team, right?
For sure.
So let's look at the people behind Minexoinvst.
Right.
Their management team has expertise in fintech, technology, and strategy.
Okay.
We're seeing investment analysts, a portfolio manager, a compliance officer, a marketing specialist, a client relations manager, and an IT data analyst.
It seems like they've covered all the bases.
Yeah, I'm seeing a good balance between investment, operations, and client relations, which suggests a well-rounded approach. But you know what? We've only just scratched the surface. We'll be exploring the potential impact of their approach,
Right.
especially their use of AI and blockchain.
Yeah, these technologies are getting a lot of attention.
They are, but what do they really mean for investors? What are the actual applications, beyond the hype?
That's a great question, and that's what we're here to find out.
Exactly.
We'll look at how Minexoinvst is using AI, not just to analyze market trends, but also to personalize investment strategies.
Okay, so the presentation mentions personalized investment experiences,
Right.
which sounds cool, but is there any substance to that, or is it just marketing?
It seems to be more than just marketing. They're using a specific type of AI
Okay.
called Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah, to analyze tons of data like market trends, economic indicators, and even individual investor profiles.
So like risk tolerance and financial goals.
Exactly. But even things like spending habits and investment history.
Wow, so they're building a really detailed picture of each investor.
Yes, and that's how they tailor those portfolios and recommendations.
So it's like a personal financial advisor, but with AI doing all the work?
Precisely. And it goes beyond just creating portfolios.
Oh, yeah.
They're using Crystal to automate tasks like rebalancing portfolios, executing trades, even identifying tax optimization strategies.
So it's about smarter decisions and making the whole process more efficient.
That's the idea.
Okay, so we talked about AI. Now what about blockchain? How does that fit in?
Well, think of blockchain as a digital vault,
Okay.
where each transaction is a block chained to the one before it.
I see.
This makes it almost impossible to tamper with, which is great for security.
Right, because a lot of crypto investors are worried about security breaches and fraud.
Exactly. Blockchain adds that extra layer of security.
And it's not just security, right?
Nope.
It also increases transparency.
Yes. All transaction histories are publicly accessible on the blockchain.
Interesting.
So you can verify the accuracy of records and track investments.
So they're giving users more control while also building trust in the system?
Exactly. And that transparency is a big deal in the world of Web3, where trust is still being built.
Okay, so AI and blockchain sound great, but we can't ignore the downsides. Are there any risks investors should know about?
Well, while blockchain is incredibly secure, there can be vulnerabilities in its implementation.
Okay.
User error can still be a weak link, if someone's private keys are compromised.
Right. Those are essential for accessing assets.
Yeah, so Minexoinvst needs to have strong security measures in place.
And educate users on how to keep their keys safe.
Definitely.
What about the platform itself? How secure is that?
That's a good point. They mention using encryption and multi-factor authentication,
Uh-huh.
but they don't give specifics in the presentation.
Okay.
It would be worth looking into that further.
Good point. It's always important to do your research. Now let's shift gears a bit, Nim. Take a closer look at, the regulations surrounding Minexoinvst and this whole potential for disruption in traditional finance.
Yeah.
I mean, could a company like this actually shake things up?
It's definitely possible. Minexoinvst and other platforms like it, they have the potential to make financial services more efficient, more transparent, more accessible.
Right.
And that could really challenge those traditional banks.
Yeah, because they're using technology to streamline everything and potentially offer lower fees.
Exactly.
But let's be real. Are we really going to see people ditching their banks completely and just managing everything through these decentralized platforms?
It's tough to say. I mean, those traditional institutions, they've got deep roots, they've got resources.
Right.
They're not going down without a fight, and they're probably already looking into AI and blockchain themselves.
So maybe it'll be more of a gradual shift then.
Yeah, more of an evolution.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the elephant in the room, regulation?
Yeah.
The crypto and fintech world is moving so fast that regulators are struggling to keep up.
Right.
What are some of the challenges Minexoinvst is facing in this constantly changing landscape?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is that there's just a lack of clarity and consistency in regulations across different jurisdictions.
Oh, I see.
So what's allowed in one country might be banned in another.
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of uncertainty.
It sounds like a compliance nightmare.
Yeah, it can be.
So how are they navigating this whole thing?
Well, they seem to be taking it very seriously.
Okay.
They've got a dedicated compliance officer on their team, and they emphasize their commitment to compliance as a major goal.
So they're not trying to cut corners or anything?
No, they seem to get that building trust with users and regulators is crucial.
That's good.
But even with their focus on compliance, there's still a lot of unknowns about how regulations will change in the future.
Right. And that uncertainty creates risk for investors, too.
Definitely.
What if new regulations suddenly make certain investments illegal?
That's a real concern.
Or unprofitable?
Exactly. That's why it's so important for investors to stay informed and to choose platforms that are committed to transparency and compliance.
Okay, so we've covered their vision, their approach to AI and blockchain, the challenges, the regulations. As we wrap up this deep dive, any final thoughts on Minexoinvst?
Well, they're definitely ambitious.
Yeah.
And they seem to be making smart moves. Their focus on user experience, security, compliance is all really promising.
Yeah.
And their team seems to have the knowledge and skills to navigate this complex world.
Right.
But it's important to remember that crypto and fintech are still relatively new, and there are risks.
So a company with a lot of potential,
Yes,
but investors need to be cautious and do their research.
absolutely. This deep dive has given us a good foundation,
Mhm.
but always do more research before making any decisions.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Minexoinvst.
My pleasure.
It's been a fascinating journey, and hopefully you've all learned something new. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving